Hey guys, welcome back to Coaching Conversations. It's Monday morning, and that is relevant to today's theme because I'm going to jump into our first topic. But before we do, I just want to say good morning, Nick. How are you this morning?
Very good. Very, very good. Actually, I'm feeling fresh. I went to bed early as last night, 9 p.m. And for me, a 9 p.m. early bed is, I must have been tired. So, yep, I'm feeling like full of beans this morning, actually.
Full of beans this morning. Cool. All right, well, let's get straight into it because we're keeping these podcast episodes short, sharp, and punchy for you. Kicking off episode 3 with this theme or this question. It's easy on a Monday, Nick, particularly for business owners when they're trying to get back into the flow of running their business, trying to get themselves, focused for the week. So what's your best piece of advice for staying focused? Because sometimes Monday's a bit of a hard time to try and spin the wheels or refresh on your to-do list or get things started again. What's your best piece of advice for getting focused, I guess, and staying focused?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think different people use different techniques, right? Different people have, different ways of kind of coping with Monday morning-itis, as we all know it, right? And I think there's probably, I'm going to use what an athlete would do, what an astronaut would do.
Okay.
Let's just think about it. We just saw recently, if you've watched the TV, they've just had Elon Musk, Saturn 9 rocket.
SpaceX take off.
Take off. They're, docking into the space station. And that less than 3-hour flight, somewhere around about there. It's not a major time. It's literally minutes of it taking off. Has all boiled down to one point where the rocket needs to work. Everything's working perfectly. Conditions are perfect, and it did it. And what I'm alluding to here is there's a lot of preparation before the end goal. It's the same as an athlete. Now, a friend of mine, he's a 4-time Olympian, and, it's 4 years worth of training for a race that's over in 60 seconds. Right.
Wow.
So once again,
let's put that into perspective.
It's crazy, right? 4 years of training for a race that's 60 seconds.
Far out.
And it's every day, 3 times a day, full time, plus win races to get to the Olympics, plus qualifying. It's insane for 60 minutes, right? 60 seconds. And why am I saying this? Because I'm saying in order for you to stay focused, I believe that you need to practice to be able to stay focused. The other thing that I want to kind of bring to the table is athletes like astronauts, when they're being an astronaut, they're being an astronaut. And when an athlete's being an athlete, they're being an athlete. And that's why they've got extremities of either switched off, do nothing, hang out, party, whatever, or be an athlete. Right? There's no, I'll just, go to training pissed. It doesn't work that way, right? Right. So, and the reason I say that is because a lot of people feel that if they don't train for staying focused, they can get away with it. And to be honest, I don't feel that happens. So a really good piece of advice would be, let's say for Monday, that on a Sunday night, just for maybe 15 minutes, it doesn't need to be a lot, but you're preparing. So it's almost like, you're getting your mind into gear before the Monday itself. And that could be just some notes, things I'm going to do for the week, ideas. I'm going to get up on Monday, go to exercise, go to meditate, drink water, just do 10 or 15 minutes a night, because what you're putting into your subconscious mind is kind of getting you ready versus go out, smoke 10 joints, drink 14 tons of alcohol and then try to wake up on Monday at 6, which more than likely, even if you do, it's going to be, reach for the hot dog or reach for something greasy. Like there's 2 different levels of wake up.
Yes.
Focused, right?
Yep.
18 cup, the 2 liters of coffee, all of these things. Yeah. So I feel that a really, really good point is being prepared. Number 2 part to that is, what's the end goal for you to do? So as an example, if you want to stay focused for the week, what's 1 or 2 things that you can really focus towards? I need to get X done, I need to get Y done. And as an overview for the week, there's, it's going to be, as an example, a sales week where I need to concentrate on sales. Or if you're a small business, you might go, hey, I need to get that software done this week. So it gives you a central focus, not too dissimilar to an Olympian or an astronaut. They go, we need this thing to dock to the space station and us as a crew go into the ISS. right? Simple as that. There's always something. I was watching a documentary of one of the astronauts, astronaut Kelly, that was the longest man in the space station so far, you know, like forever,
lifetime.
right?
Yeah.
And astronaut Kelly was talking about like every day. He said it's funny. He goes, when you're up there, you know, Dr. Kelly, Scott Kelly is the guy's name. He said when you're up there, every single minute of every single day is accounted for and or focused for and or everything from exercise through to food, through to almost when he goes to the toilet, through to check-ins, through to, you know, and 3 times I think it was 2 or 3 times I had to go into the Mir capsule because there was debris coming around the planet and they needed to evacuate because the space station was about to get smashed to a trillion pieces. 3 times into a capsule. So he said, you know, you don't have a lot of time here. We need to get working, right? So, and what's the moral of that story? It's to say that if you're prepared and you're accounted for, you actually get a lot more time. So staying focused comes with preparation and actually gives you more time to do the things that you like to do. You know, because if you're, you know, hey, from, I don't know, 6 till 7, I'm going to exercise, and from 4 till 5, I'm going to spend with the family or everything in between, kind of creates better focus for you. So then you don't have to worry about all the focus throughout the day. You go, cool, there's certain times for focus. Because like I said, depending on how you view time, some people can't focus for a long time. They can focus for short bursts.
Yes.
So it's better that they do the short burst than it is to try to go, I'm going to read a book for 5 hours. It's better they go, I'll read a chapter in the morning, chapter at night. It works better.
Yeah. And most business owners will know when they're more or most productive, whether it's morning, whether it's afternoon, everyone's different. But I think what you said there, and the key takeaway is the preparedness. Sunday afternoon or evening, jot down a few things that you need to plow through or launch from in SpaceX theme to get the week going. So I think that's important. And then maintaining that preparation throughout your week helps you to stay focused.
Yeah, what's going to happen the next day? What do I need to accomplish? You know, something that just came to me. You know, I hear a lot of businesses, they go, I've got to put my tax return in on Monday for BAS, 3-month tax return. And Sunday night they're doing it.
Yes.
And I'm like, Sunday you're tired. Sunday night you're like not concentrating.
Yes.
Because I think if you had to, I don't know, take a poll, most people on a Sunday night are a bit, you know, veggie-like. Because you're just tired, you know, and then you already got it in your head that you got to go to work next day or whatever. Like, and people work shifts and stuff like that. But I'm saying, in general, Sunday afternoon, I think would be probably the highest level of takeaway or whatever. You know, like people don't even want to cook. You know, you just so doing your tax return on a Sunday night usually is the optimum for your head to be in the game. You know.
Yeah.
So pick when, like to mirror your thoughts is you know, pick when you're the most alert for focus.
Yeah, perfect. Cool. And then you're obviously going to be mega productive in those periods of time. So yeah. Okay, cool. That doesn't really segue into the next thing. So I'm just going to introduce a whole new topic, but hopefully understanding that preparation is really the key. And if you can get prepared and plan ahead, then you're going to allow yourself to become more focused in the future. If we're going to relate focus through to things like marketing, this is where my next question is coming from. If you work in construction or if you're in the building game right now, get ready, because this question or this kind of theme or concept is for you. If you are in construction or let's say you're building new homes, you could be in renovations, with COVID-19, with everything kind of, and a lot of the restrictions are starting to lift now as well. So hopefully we're allowed out of our homes and we can start mingling with people. And I think they're trying to do that before holidays and things start. But what's the best way to market yourself? Or if you're in any trade-based industry in construction, right now in our current market, what's the best way to actually market ourselves?
That's a great question. First of all, I think the biggest mistake that most people in construction make where it comes to marketing is they think like a tradesperson or somebody that owns a building company, and they just think like that, you know, and they also think along the lines of either way too technical or with relation to stuff that doesn't really incentivize people at all, to be honest. And let me give you an example. You know, I've worked with people that are builders, and they said, oh, you know, maybe we can give people, you know, where it comes to marketing, a free quote or a free evaluation or a, free strategy session talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, yeah, that's kind of cool, but it's not something that, is really going to separate you from anyone else, because I've heard that free quote 1,400 times.
Yeah.
Right? And to be honest, I've seen what the quotes look like, and 99% of those quotes look like, the 8-year-old put the quote together, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So the line by line detail tells you all the stuff, and it doesn't leave anything for imagination, and or people just get that quote, they ring up the next guy and get another one from him, and pretty much do what? Compare prices, and the best price usually wins, right? And
that's right.
You're losing out on business.
I think one of the big things in that area is they're really not illustrating enough value.
Really
it's
not
just,
illustrating
it's
enough
just
value.
price, thing, zero value.
Correct. So the first thing that I would say, in order for us to really market the new ways of doing things, is first of all, what is it that's going to get your avatar or your prospect motivated to purchase from you? And let me give you a perfect example. So we've been working with a bathroom renovation company, and it's winter. So one of the things that we're advertising is free in-floor heating, valued at about $1,500. So value's excellent. It's $1,500 on average. Let's say it's a $20,000 bathroom, 15 to 20 grand. So literally it's 10% worth of value, which is excellent.
Yeah.
In-floor heating in winter is perfect. You probably wouldn't go in-floor heating in summer because it's hot, right? Your feet are hot. You're not going to want them hotter. But in winter, you got the marble tiles or whatever it is, and it feels good. So that would be one of them. Another one that we're working on is complete electricals all paid for within the bathroom itself. So, those hot lights, the down lights, the exhaust fan, all of the stuff, the switches, all of that stuff, we pay for all of that as well. So once again, good value, and it's got something to do with it, right? Which is cool. So I suppose what I'm alluding to here is, let's say if you're in, new home construction, things like, in winter heating, in summer air conditioning, things like pergola, or al fresco type areas, I think are excellent because they're good all year round.
Yeah.
Because of COVID now, I think, people are absolutely going to entertain a little bit more because we've been starved of that entertainment. So I think having entertainment areas would be good for you to have family or friends over.
Yeah.
I think that would be a good, same thing for new homes. Upgrading things like electrical systems and or communication systems in the homes. So things like, high-speed internet connections throughout it, C-bus systems, any of those type of things that have really good value, 3, 4, 5 grand. And people go, geez, 5 grand, that's a lot of money, but is it when somebody's spending $1 million with you? The answer is probably no. And then the last one of these, which I like to use a lot, is a lifetime warranty. And a lot of people go, oh my God, a lifetime warranty, it's hard enough doing 7 years. But the way that we sort of asterisk it is, as long as you live in their home, we'll warrant it. And, conditions apply around stuff. And this is what most builders and tradespeople don't think about. Once again, they think like a builder or a tradesperson. At the end of the day, the worst possible thing that could possibly ever happen in a house is that you get a leak behind the tiles and you go rip the tiles out and fix it. And even if you've built a, Taj Mahal, it's $15,000 roughly, 20 grand roughly for you to replace it as a, tile guy or a bathroom expert or a builder. That's it. So 15 grand means that you're going to get $1.5 million to $2 million renovation or new house build or whatever it may be, or a home and land package for 700,000. At the end of the day, even if you look at that, it's 15K, and the likelihood of that happening is pretty slim. Anything that comes as an attachment, like taps, light fittings, all that stuff, usually has got a replacement of a lifetime guarantee on it anyway. So this is a really, really, really amazing opportunity for you to market yourself that'll literally kill the competitors. I've done it with builders, and we've killed it. We're about to do it with bathroom reno companies, and I know they're going to kill it. Because, question's pretty simple. Which one would you go with? 7-year guarantee or lifetime? I know which one I'm going to go with, lifetime. But then there's a whole other level of marketing strategy around that, which we could talk about in another interview. So.
Sure. So ultimately, these pertain to offers that you're using in your marketing. What you're saying is be really specific about, I guess, time of year or what your clients actually want, and then creating a larger offer or a larger value-based addition around that, right?
Correct. Identify the target audience and put the offer in that relates to that target audience to go from there. Because let's think about it. You know, free quote. Well, all right, I'm freaking out, but I'm not freaking out that much. You know, in-floor heating when it's winter. You know, usually the wife or the girlfriend or someone just goes, "Hey, I like that in-floor heating because my feet are always cold when I go to the bathroom."
Mm.
You know, it's very relevant and it relates to that client avatar.
Yeah,
and,
cool.
Know, secretly, I think us men like the in-floor heating too.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Secretly,
who wants to walk on a cold floor, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's like the car seat warmers in the cars, right?
Yeah.
Secretly, we all switch them on.
All the guys listening to this, like, no way, man. I'm hardcore. Yeah. I walk barefoot.
Hardcore barefoot
on the concrete.
Yeah, and my seat's made out of metal. Yeah,
that's right. Old school. No leather. Or leather.
No, that's funny.
Right. One more thing before we shoot off from this episode today. Let's talk about businesses, or let's say you're running a business right now and you want to grow your business, but you only have limited amounts of capital or no capital because you might have chewed up all your capital reserves throughout COVID-19. How do people grow their businesses, Nick, if they want to really, you know, take it to the next level over the next 3 to 6 months without a whole lot of capital? What's your advice?
It's interesting. I think what COVID-19 has done for any business, to be brutally honest, is made them think out of the box, right? Mm. You know, cafes that never used to do takeaway do it. Cafes that never used to have coffee and pass it through a hole in the wall now figure it out. Like you've got to, you know, there's ways. My personal opinion, the best way to build a business without spending any money on building that business is relationship building, right? Because relationships don't cost you money to build. Now, if you've got somebody that's got your client avatar, you know, as an example, let's say if we're talking construction, well, architects usually are almost a sort of first point of call, or a builder. If you're a tradesperson, usually the builder is going to have the work that they get from the architect, where the client goes to the architect. I'm thinking of doing a renovation or brand new build. First, they go to the architect, get the design, then usually they put it up, who's the builder, and then the builder passes on to the tradespeople, and it sort of goes that way. So if that's a third party, that somebody's got your people, it's perfect. Here's another example for us. You know, companies like Sydney Tools, as an example, or the big tool co companies have got literally thousands and thousands and thousands of, you know, trade and construction personnel that purchase from them. So from a third party point of view, it makes sense that we build relationships with those guys to add value to those guys, and it's relationships and value for us to get in front of that audience. And in exchange, we get to pitch our wares to that audience. So, and to me, I think what most businesses don't realize is they try to do it this way. Well, hey, if you need this, you know, ask for this and buy this. Where we actually do it differently. Instead of going, hey, if your client needs this, give them my number, tell them to buy it. That feels like you know, buy my shit, buy my shit, buy my shit. Versus it should be along the lines of, hey, let me give value to your client. You know, I want to make sure you look good. And in return of that value, if your client feels like I want to know more, I'd be more than happy to manage that relationship for you and keep you in the loop, right?
Yes.
Here's an example. I've got one of my tile companies about to go into Harvey Norman, and they wanted to sort of take in, you know, packages. And I said, no. What we're going to do is let's really find out what Harvey Norman wants. What is it that their store wants? How do we make it better for them? Do they want us to handle it? Can we give them a little referral card that they can do that? And we're going to have an in-store presence like on a Saturday. So for free, they've got professional tiling mob that does bathrooms and tiles as an expert to be able to sell more of their product and then be nurtured in the process. So for the time that we spend, you know, the setup, all of that stuff, it costs Harvey Norman nothing. And we're absolutely able to get in there and sell more of their product because we're going to use their product for it. So see, that's a third party relationship built. So that's the best way. And it doesn't cost you anything. It's a time.
Yeah. So leveraging relationships, guys, for anybody listening, is the best way to grow your business moving forward. And Nick's just given you a couple of different options there, but it's not what you know, it's who you know. It's the old saying, right? So it's about leveraging the people that you already know. Now, I would almost guarantee you can literally pull out your phone if you're listening to this, find a dozen people that you know that could pass you on to the next person or put you in front of someone that you want to speak to or even do business with you again. And you could actually, generate some income or some revenue or at least a conversation that way. I think people almost get into a mode or a habit where they do business with someone and then they move on to the next person. But there's still probably a relationship there that you can tap into and make the most of instead of moving on. So hopefully you got some value out of that. I'm sure you did. I know that I did. Listening, it's always good chatting to Nick once again. It's refreshing more than anything, which is great. Guys, if you have any questions or anything you'd like us to chat about on this podcast, please email it through to ask@upcoach.com.au. We'll be happy to discuss any topics that you want us to cover on the show. Thank you once again, Nick, for joining me. And there's I'll make sure that we've got some punchy content for our next episode. I'm sure I'll be speaking to you all again very soon.
Thank you.
Cool. All right. We'll talk to you soon. Bye now.